Are you struggling to find the right kind of controller settings for you to have effective gameplay? Let's go right into the settings. All right, once you have launched up Call of Duty Warzone, there's gonna be some settings. Even though I may have some of this stuff on, what is best recommended for players that are adaptable for those looking to change their settings? First off, whenever I'm playing with my sensitivities, normally I recommend people to have a horizontal and a vertical stick sensitivity at 1.5. If for those who want it to be a little bit on the slower end, I would recommend around like a 1.25 to a 1.5 type of stick sensitivity. I also usually stick mine to button layout to default. Some people like to have it changed to more of a beast type of setup or brawler. And also with having these paddles on the back of my controller, I usually use my A and B for the back of my paddle. All these other settings, simplify control presets, it's off. Low motor strain preset off. Bumper ping, I set it to off. Swapping LB RB with LT RT. This is kind of a preference setting. Some people are going to tell you yes to turn it on so that you're able to have a faster response time with the bumpers. If you are careful with your controller and take care of it well and want to try this different swap opportunity, I would recommend at least trying it out, see how you feel about it. It can provide a faster response time. My Xbox Core Elite Series 2 controller, I also have these buttons on the very back where it allows you to be able to have your controller push down to be faster or slower. Moving on, this one is a personal setting for me. I don't know why. For me, I have a harder time hitting my shots when my controller vibration is set to off, so I like to have it set to on. For most people, I would recommend to set it to off so that you're able to not get distracted by the vibration of your controller. Dead zone inputs, this one's probably one of the most important settings that you're going to want to set up your controller for. So for this one over here, so there is these settings over here. You can test your stick dead zone for those who have like the stick drift on your controller. This can help manipulate your controller easier so that you're able to have your shots to be more accurate and precise. For my left stick minimum, I set it to 2. For my left stick max, I set it to 60. Right stick minimum set to 2. Right stick max set to 99. Left trigger at 0, right trigger at 0, so you can have a faster response time. This you can kind of push up and down just a little bit to make your aims a little bit easier. I've seen some people have it where they have their left stick max and right stick max set to 45. I would recommend to where it is set to these proper settings for your dead zone. Again, every player's controls can be different because you may have really bad stick drift. And if you have stick drift that is so bad, honestly, I would consider getting a new controller if I were you. Once you're done, it'll tell you to update your settings. So make sure that you update your settings before moving into the next tab. Alrighty, so I know, call me crazy, but I play on inverted. And a lot of you guys are going to probably say in my comments, why in the world do you play inverted controller settings? And so the backstory of it is I grew up as a Halo player as a kid. I loved Halo. This for those who played OG Halo back in the day, you get where I'm coming from. And so this is what I rocked when I was playing Halo a lot, and it helps. This is what works best for me. I could technically play with standard, but honestly, I've grown actually to like my inverted so much that when I aim down where it moves up instead of going down, and when I move my thumbstick up, it actually goes down instead. It actually helps with my recoil control, believe it or not. Sensitivity multiplier. This one, I have all of these settings set to 1. Simple as that, nothing too crazy. Set it to 1, that's what I would recommend. For aiming advanced settings, I have my looking version third person standard, everything else standard. ADS sensitivity transition timing set to instant. My third person ADS correction type set to assist. Aim response curve type is set to dynamic. Some people try to play on standard, but personally I find dynamic to work the best, so that you're able to have better movement plays that are able to allow you to be able to have an easier time hitting your shots. That's what has worked best for me. But if you'd rather have it to where you're more of a slow starter movement type of player that speeds up your accuracy, then I would recommend having it to standard. Aim response curve slope scale, set it to 1.0. Custom sensitivity per zoom, I have this set to off, and that is it from this side of the settings. Target aim assist, I always have it set to on. Honestly, I mean, if you want to be an actual crazy player, you can set it to off and just test yourself to see how accurate you really are. But honestly, everybody's playing aim assist, so just set it to on. ADS aim assist, I set it to on. Motion sensor behavior, I have it set to off. This is only for certain controllers. I have it just set to off. That's what I would recommend. And if you want to use the advanced settings, I'm not going to go over a lot of the settings. You can just copy and paste the settings, pause the video, what you got to do to be able to set it everything the way it is. If you want to claim the title of the best Warzone inverted controller player, Maybe we got to have a little 1v1 kill race on Warzone. Well, let me know in the comments below. All right, moving on to movement. Sprint assist, tactical sprint assist is what I have on for this setting. Manual assist, I have it to off. I can't tell you how many times I've gotten stuck in mantle situations. It just has not worked well for me. For the more advanced, I have everything set to off except for mantle assist angle. I have it set to tight. For this one, I have it set to off. Nothing too crazy here. Crouch assist, tactical sprint set to off as well. A corner slice, I have it set to off. Slide dive behavior. This one is kind of a personal preference. I like to have it set to tap to slide, or they like to also have it, set to hybrid, where you tap only to slide. I like to tap to slide. Otherwise, I would choose either slide only or set it to hybrid. Automatic airborne mantle, I have it set to off. Again, clean is really annoying in this game. It's terrible. Sprint restore, have it set to on. Slide maintain sprint set to on. Parachute automatic behavior. If you get annoyed with like the parachute automatically coming out while you're about to land somewhere, I personally recommend having it to off. Mantle cancels reload, I have it set to on. Movement advanced settings, I have my sprint / tactical sprint behavior set to toggle. Auto move forward off. Auto door peek off. Grounded mantle set to on. Double tap set on for tactical sprint activation. Plunging on the water is the trigger, and then sprinting door bash is set to on, so you can automatically bash the door with no issues. All right, moving on to the last tab, such as combat. I have my aim down sight behavior set to hold. I'm just used to the OG classic Call of Duty setting for aiming down sight set to hold. Tactical stance behavior set to on toggle. Tactical stance activation ADS plus down button. Weapon mount activation ADS plus melee. Dedicated melee weapon activation hold melee. Body shield finishing move behavior set it to prioritize finishing move. Armor plate behavior apply to all. Now, having to press the button or hold the button multiple different variation of times is super annoying to try to plate up. You're going to want to set it to apply all so you have the best opportunity to be fully plated and be ready for your next fight. C4 detonation activation 1 by 1. All you got to do is just press to detonate any C4 before throwing another. Equipment behavior set to hold. This allows you to be able to hold your grenades if you're cooking them before you release. The other one, you just have to press and press over and over again, which honestly beats up your buttons a lot. So I personally recommend setting it to hold. Manual fire behavior, you press. Combat advanced settings, focus behaviors to hold, change zoom activation, sprint tactical sprint focus, weapon mount exit short delay, interacts reload behavior. This one's important too. Set it to prioritize interact. This setting allows you to be able to prioritize picking stuff up from the ground or interacting with the buy station or any sort of action like a vehicle. And then when you hold the button, it allows you to reload your weapon instead of interacting with something. Sprint cancels reload set to off. Akimbo behavior independent. ADS stick swap off. Depleted ammo weapon switch set to on. And that's it from that side. And the last couple is scoreboards, map / stats behavior set to toggle. Overlay advanced settings, I just have it set to inventory control directional buttons. Peen wheel delay short. Double tap danger. Peen delay short. Emotes and sprays wheel position set to default. But that is it for all my settings for this video. We're going to jump right into the gameplay, but let me know down in the comments below what you think of these settings, if these settings have helped you, if you guys would like to see another settings video. But if you guys want to see the settings, here are the settings of what it looks like in my gameplay. Hope you guys enjoy. Alright, we'll take that. Let's if I lose this guy. And that's game over, baby. That's a win. That's how you get it done, folks. You whiffed a lot of shots. And we got the job done just like that. That's our settings, ladies and gentlemen.